14 WILI and 95.3 FM presents Hometown Threads, a closer look at our community and the people that make it go. Every week, you'll hear uplifting stories from our local businesses and our neighbors. Now, here's our host for Hometown Threads, Keith C. Rice.
All right, here we go. The third ever edition of Hometown Threads on 14 WILI, 95.3 FM, and Willimantic Today Facebook. Hello to RJ and the crew and everyone watching on Willimantic Today. Big thanks to our producer, J. Matt Rupar, back here at the studio. I gotta start off by saying major props to those two guys. They do, this is the third ever show, as I just mentioned, and RJ and Matt have really stepped up. And we're growing, we're evolving, we're excited about the show. Again, it's Hometown Threads, not Hometown Heroes, which I've heard a couple times. I could see where the confusion could come in with, hometown. And, I'm not taking anything away from these awesome local business owners. Some of them could be considered heroes. Like, I consider Josh a hero and a friend. And we'll get to our guest and our our local business owner in just a sec. But just to give you another a little more background on Hometown Threads is all about again. It's a show that's primarily about our fine local businesses, how they started, because there's a lot of people that don't know how Green Valley Tree got started, or how Willimantic Brewing Company got started, or WILI. Colin Rice was our, you may have known, I know him quite well, he's my father. He was our first ever guest. So it's about our fine local business owners sharing the story about how their businesses started. And there may be a week where we don't have a local business owner here. It could be a community member telling their story. So Hometown Threads is the name of the show. Threads being, get it, Willimantic, Thread City. But we threw Hometown in front of it because we don't want to make it exclusively to just Windham Willimantic. That's a story, Hometown Threads. I'm Keith C. Rice. I'm your host. And the show airs on the radio 5:05 to 5:30 every Tuesday. And you can see it on Willimantic Today Facebook Wednesdays at about 4 o'clock, usually when it goes up. And again, big thanks to RJ and the admin team over at Willimantic Today. So with that being said, got all that out of the way, it's a pleasure to bring in our third ever guest on Hometown Threads, Josh Walmsley, a friend of mine from Green Valley Tree. Josh, it's great to have you here, and thanks so much for swinging in to do Hometown Threads.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Keith. It's a great opportunity, and look forward to seeing how the show grows and evolves.
Now, this is exciting, and
brought you
what's
a little
this?
gift coming down.
Look at this.
Little pen and,
he comes
something
there
for the coffee down the road. So
I'm sure you get called the Tree Man, right? Oh, here comes the Tree Man's coming up.
Sometimes, yeah.
What are some nicknames besides Green Valley Tree? I mean,
I don't know. Are those air appropriate?
Maybe not. But anyway, thank you for the gift. We have Dave didn't bring any beer last week from Willie Brew.
That would have been a perfect intro.
Yeah, there was no testing brews last week during the Dave Wallner program on Hometown Threads. So, okay, so we got a pen.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. So
this is actual wood from a tree?
Yeah. So what we found is a guy off of Etsy makes them out of recycled Christmas trees. So it's kind of cool that they upcycle them. It's been a big hit. We started doing them, 5 years ago or so for our first home show.
Great marketing tool there. It says Green Valley Tree, and it has the phone number, 860-234-4041. I like that. And I see his trucks all over town, too, the Green Valley Tree trucks. You want me to open this now?
By all means.
Right.
Tis the season.
It's only a 25-minute show, but why not?
Yeah.
Tis the yes, it is. It is the day of giving and the giving season. A mug, just what I need. More mugs. This is great. This may have to stay here at WILI though.
There you go.
And
you got your office mugs in your house.
This is a great mug. It's big, and I'm a big coffee drinker too. I should pour my Cumberland coffee into the Green Valley Tree.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll make this a prop for the show. Matt, can that get on camera? There we go.
There you go.
All right, so Josh Walmsley from Green Valley Tree is our guest. And let's just start off by asking, how many years has GVT, Green Valley Tree, been in business?
Yeah, so the business started off in 2015. We kind of just hit the ground running, jumping with both feet type of deal. So kind of the backstory was it was supposed to be part-time, really enjoyed the world of arboriculture. I started off line clearance and didn't really realize how much I actually enjoyed it at first until I really got into the industry. Started going to a couple conferences, and after my first conference, it was just blown away by how much is out there for arboriculture. Just caring for them, trimming them, rigging. And I said to Ariel, the now wife, and said, I think that we can give this a go. I'd like to give it a shot. I think I can make it happen.
So this goes back to, I'm friends with Josh, and I know his wife Ari as well. They're about to have their second baby girl. Congratulations.
Thank you.
January, right?
Yep, early January.
So you brought up Ari. Were you guys dating at the time where you were considering getting the business off the ground? I mean, even take me back to well, how old are you? You're in your 30s, right?
Yeah. Yep,
okay,
33.
so let's see. You said 2015 the business started?
Yep.
So you had a fondness for Arbor even before you knew Ari? Or?
So it's funny. So I actually fell into the industry. I'm a car guy. I kind of bounce around jobs like most of us do when you're young. You hop around. And a friend lost his job, but he set me up with the position that he lost. I was a ground guy in a local company here, and I worked through the winter and started going and enjoying it. Found that it was kind of my niche. And what was my driving force is I asked my foreman at the time, how can I excel? What can I do more? I really would like to learn more. So he told me, you can become an arborist. And I'm like, what's an arborist? We can talk cars all day, but what's this arborist thing?
Does that something to do with cars? Arbor?
So I went back, talked to the boss, and his words to me were, just stay where you're at. You'll do fine. It's really hard. You'll never want to do it. So that just kind of drove me to fine, okay. And I left there, went to another company, moved my way through the ranks there until I couldn't really move forward more. Moved to company number 3, and they were actually the best company that I worked for in the line clearance world.
Was it the line clearance?
Yeah.
Arbor company?
Yep. I worked for Lucas. That was the best one that I worked for. They were really good with their employees, and I learned a lot. I took a lot of their culture and what I enjoyed about them and brought it to us. The other two, they were okay. And so I took what I learned there, and I learned about the conferences. There's a whole shindig about trees, and you can go and learn. So I asked them. I used a vacation day, took off, and it was just mind-blowing. And from that point on, I was just hooked. And that's where I grew the passion. And when you fast forward a little bit, I kept climbing and learning and adapting.
Now, climbing, he means literally climbing, too,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, that's how we built the business.
Because you can't be afraid of heights if you're an arborist, correct?
No. Well, it's really more or less a sudden stop at the bottom. That you really
the sudden stop.
Yeah, so not really the heights.
Well, to explain.
Yeah, you don't want to make that trip down.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, I got into it, and I really started enjoying it. And I was very unhappy with the last company I worked for. And
tell us a little about that. Not that you have to drop names or anything, but just it wasn't going well.
Just a large corporate company. Within the first week, I got almost like a literal gut feeling like this just was not the right move. Chasing the dollar. We all try to chase the dollar. There's always greener grass, and I learned the hard way that grass was not greener on the other side. But it was also the best thing because it would have never pushed me into saying, let's just try the business. So we actually bought the name for the business, went to the Secretary of State, registered the business as an LLC. We got that ball rolling. And as we saved up a little bit more money, because we were just dating at the time, we had an apartment. And
she was all in to help you with the business, huh?
Yeah, she was going to school full time. She was working as a waitress and also working at Eastern part time. So as I'm off, we would see each other a couple days a week, if we're lucky. I was working 80, 90 hours through and through, just trying to grab all the overtime we can just to try to make ends meet. As most know, that if they're listening as a waitress, you really don't make much money in life. So, and with her going to school, try to make sure that provide as best as I could. Try to take the stress off of her shoulders. Going to school sucks at times. You're trying to read and cram so much in. And
but you knew early on that your goal was to start your own tree business, right?
It was. My goal was to start it for the passion, and also so I didn't have to rely on working for these major corporations. To try to take that burden off so I could continue to enjoy it. And I know she'll never forget that day. So I drove. I was about 3.5 hours from home, was where I was working, and I just had enough. I said, you know what? Screw this. I just got done 3.5 hour drive. My truck had no heat at that time. Oh, everywhere I went, there was no heat in the winter. It was just, we were living bare bones, almost paycheck to paycheck at times, and just trying to make it all work. And
sometimes those are the chances you got to take in life. And I love this is why I'm doing this show. It's situations like this. Dave Wollner told us a story last week. Now Josh is getting into a tough part of his journey, and this is what I like to hear because you got through it. So that night you went home and said, we got to make a decision here. You're at a crossroads.
Well, it's funny because it wasn't even the night home. I think I got halfway through my day and I said, you know what?
Really?
I'll see you guys later. And told the boss, said, you know what? You guys can pound sand. I'm out of here. I'm all set. I'm done. I called up Ariel. I said, hey, so we're going to give this a go a little bit sooner, I think. Said, I can't do this anymore. Because when you're frustrated at work and you bring that stress home and it's not good.
It's not good.
By the time you're done unwinding, and I was like, I got to do this. Otherwise, I'm going to pull my hair out.
And what was her reaction? Honestly.
Oh, her exact words were, okay. I guess I'll see you in a little bit. Because I was like, I'm on my way. I got 3 hours more ahead of me, and I'll see you.
Wow.
And so that really night, jumped in with both feet. And we were buying a house at this time, too.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Wow. How
so
about that?
We had just closed on the house 2 weeks beforehand. And they said, just don't make the jump. You don't want to do it. And we had just closed on the house. I mean, we spent every dollar. I think we had maybe a literal $2,000 to our name, which is your mortgage and a little bit of food.
Wow.
So it was, you had to make it work. You know, I had that paycheck coming in to throw it in, but she stuck by and, you know, started. I had no clue about business. I'm a blue-collar guy. I don't know how to do this.
That leads me to my next question. See, I love. See, this goes back to when I record these clients like Josh who come in and record their commercials. These questions are popping in my head, and I don't have time because they need to do their commercials so they can go back and run their business. That's why we're doing Hometown Threads. So my question is, what did you do in that situation? You know, where you don't know what you're going to do next.
Trial by fire. It was completely off the hip the whole time, just going with the gut feeling of what should you get for customer service. When I'm looking for a business, what am I looking for? And that's what we were trying to do. That's what we were trying to sell. I didn't own a dump truck at the time. We had a 2500 that I built a wooden box and a pitchfork and a rental chipper, and you know, it was...
But you not having... This is what I was meant to ask, too. You never knew how to run a business. Is there anybody you leaned on? I'm sure you did.
Yeah.
Now, you feel free to drop names here. Anybody that you went to say, hey, I want to start my own business. I want to start it soon. What do I got to do?
Yeah.
Was there anybody...
so
you must have leaned on somebody.
It took a little while because of the fact that we just moved. So one of our biggest supporters and one of my biggest mentors is the father-in-law, who's built a very successful business here locally, and he's also our hardest critic. He made sure that we did it the hard way. Zero handouts, zero anything. We earned every step of the way. And as we've gone by...
We could say his name, right?
Yeah, well, Billy.
Bill Rose.
Billy Rose.
Come on.
You know?
Yes, say hello to Lisa, too.
Bill and Lisa, you know, they've been really good. You know, I know that they were frustrated at first when they heard it, and probably like, oh my God, what is he doing? And
everyone must have been a little nervous.
It was
nerve-wracking.
I joined so for me, the biggest thing was building the website to try to get people, because they don't know. It's word of mouth. And I was like, well, maybe we should build a website. That's how people should find us.
So you started with the website, pretty much, okay?
And the guy actually led me on to a group of people. I was like, that's perfect. I can just sit here and pick everybody's brain. I don't care about the referrals. Referrals will come down the road. Yeah. I want to pick people's brain of how a business should operate. How do I do this? What do I do?
You're going to be the boss.
Exactly.
You have to hire, and are you now I see you out and about too. I'm sorry, I'm kind of going all over the place here. We're talking to Josh Walmsley from Green Valley Tree LLC, North Windham, 860-234-4041, and we just talked about the website, greenvalleytreeworks.com. I see you, so yeah, you're the boss, but you're also out and about working with your crew.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Even before we even had our own first chipper, people will call, be like, yeah, we see you guys everywhere. You know, you're big. We built ourselves essentially to look bigger than what we were, to fake it till you make it. We used the Red Bull method. Throw the empty cans in everybody's trash cans, and, you know, you make it look like you're something that you're not until everybody says, what's this Red Bull? Everybody's drinking it, so we have to. Wow. And it somehow worked for us. The hard effort, late nights.
So you started with, when did you start? Okay, you said the website. Yep. You got the ball rolling. You mentioned the in-laws. They have ownership experience. What happened the next day? Okay, well, did you had to find a place for your business, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's others that I've picked brains. I mean, local. I mean, Jim Nelson, Rocky. Everybody knows him as the Mason. You know, Tim Acker picked his brain. There's a group of professionals that it was a meeting. We used to all get together, and that's how I got to know a lot of these people and bouncing ideas off. I would stop into businesses. This is who I am. One of my other big breaks when I first started out, and he gave me a huge shot, gave me a chance. And that was American Landscape and Lawn Science, and we built a great relationship with those guys. I said, this is who I am, this is what I offer. Let me know if I can ever give you a chance. Let me show you. And Steve was very, very satisfied with what we offered for the performance and communication, and that's what we key ourselves on, is giving back to the community, making sure that the customer service is there, and make sure the quality is there, and standing behind the product. You know, everybody in business knows that at some point you're going to have your ups and your downs, but making sure you stand behind what you do is the biggest key. And I think a lot of people forget on that note is everybody's willing to go to the big box stores and complain about that curvy Home Depot lumber, but the second they get that curvy Home Depot or curvy lumber from like a Willards or a Chase, they're not going to go and shop there again. And making sure that you continue to support those businesses through highs and lows, and as they get new employees and stuff like that. And we're very grateful as we had the people, as I was learning, and that's where I'm going with that, as I was learning to my response time with customers, making sure that I wasn't taking on too much. I'll never forget, it was the biggest turning point for me was when Ariel said, we need to cap the time that you answer your phone. Because I would answer until 9, 10 o'clock at night for customers, just to set up appointments.
Wow.
And she goes, we need to. You're running yourself ragged. I'm running her ragged because I'm stressing out.
A cutoff time, right?
It was. It took so much for me to not answer that phone after 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and make a cutoff time. But it was the best thing for us. It started allowing us to have a life again together and not being stressed and answering. And it showed people that we do have business hours. We are still small. Don't worry. We'll pick up the phone. We'll get back to you. You know, there's tomorrow. And that was a big turning point within the business. So as you're talking business-wise, people doing things, is that time management. And you can still get a lot done in that time period. And I'm an ADD person, is all it can be.
I think we all are. Especially
and time management has been the biggest struggle for me as I go through. But she's the big backbone of the company is Ari.
I was about
she
to
helps
say
out so much
because you and Ari went in this together. You know, obviously the in-laws are there for support,
Yep.
but it's your business. What is Ari's title?
So Ariel is co-owner, and she takes care of all of our HR work. So I do all the arboricultural work, running the crane. I do the consulting on job sites. I'm doing the quotes. And Ariel's on the backside making sure all the numbers are working.
She's in the office.
In the office. She's crunching numbers. She's making sure the guys are paid. She's making sure when contracts come in that, hey, Josh, we saw this new one come in. Do we want to make a bid on this? And we're still small. I mean, my brother was with me up until the spring this year when he wanted to try his own business and step out.
Oh, okay.
So we're a 6-person company now.
What's your brother doing now?
He's doing lawn care. So he's just mowing and taking some landscaping and stuff like that and trying to build his own. So
as we continue on here with Josh Walmsley from Green Valley Tree, and Josh may say that his business is still small, but I'm telling you, I see him all over the place. So he is growing rapidly. And, not to bring back Dave Wallner for a second, but David Wallner's been doing this for years. Someone like Josh, I could tell, Dave is obviously really established. Josh is on his way to, he's pretty established for a business that started in 2015. I got to say, and I've known him for a few years now. It seems like longer than that. I did a little BNI networking when I fill in with for my wife Marianne. You did Wyndham BNI for a while.
That's where I met Mary.
Yeah, and I just got a vibe. This guy knows what he's doing. So, and I have to say, and I'm not just saying this because you're my friend too. I'm not even kidding. Your truck was down a couple houses down from me. I see it every time I turn around. There's Green Valley Tree again. So that just goes to tell you, he's doing something right. And Josh, Ariel, how big is your staff?
We have 3 guys in the field. We have RJ, Miles, and Joey, and then we have Sarah in the office that helps and assists. She's the one that you're going to call and talk to these days. She sets you up with the appointments. So Sarah's another very big, crucial part. Irene, she finished off over here at Eastern. She was doing a lot of our plant healthcare and helping out in the office, and now that she's done with school, she's now moved on. We miss having Irene in the office. It was a great help, and also on the plant healthcare side, doing treatments. We are always looking for the right employees, but having the right team to me is more important than just hiring everybody underneath the sun. You can have 1,000,001 employees, but if they don't jive, then you're not going to have good teams. And that's important for
Chemistry.
us.
Chemistry is very important.
It's huge. That's what's allowed us to grow and keep doing what we're doing on with a small staff. But we have the right skill sets. We have the right education that goes into it. We make sure we're properly licensed and insured, and we keep that education going. It's not
That's
just,
awesome.
Here you go, see you bye.
Right. And you're thank you, man. We got 5 minutes to go here. Third ever edition of Hometown Threads on WILI and, of course, on Willimantic Today Facebook. You're at a great location, too, right there on Boston Post Road in North Windham.
Yep.
How long, real quickly, how long did it take to find that? And you got to be extremely pleased with that. There's that's heavy traffic on that road there.
Yeah, so we were actually approached to acquire a spot inside that building. It's been a good spot for us. It allows people to see where we're at. We sell a lot of mulch, compost, and topsoil as well. So,
what is your most enjoyable moment of running Green Valley Tree, or just anything? I know you said you're out and about with your crew. Yeah. To this day, what's your most enjoyable moment? What do you wake up every day? I know you love growing the business, but is there something like, I can't wait to go do that today? Or
any day I can get back into the trees, because we're so efficient with how we operate and what we do. Anytime I can get out to do some trimming and pruning and be actually in the tree for some roping and rigging. Being out there on the job site with the crane, it's fun, but I'm not. It's different. You're on a job site, you're there, you're active, but you're not physical. My passion is climbing and moving through the canopy.
There you go. There you go. Now, what separates you from the other tree businesses? I'm putting you on the spot, Josh Walmsley. What separates you from the other tree businesses?
The feedback that we get is customer service. Everybody says the same thing. We have customer service, and that's what we're known for. We have quality. I am more than happy to put my team against the major majority of companies out there, because we are actually licensed arborists. We are actually insured. Our guys are actually trained. All of our equipment goes through, gets annual inspections, whether it's the bucket truck and those booms are around the power lines, they get dielectric tested because we want to make sure our guys are safe. We make sure they have all the right equipment, annual inspections on everything, up-to-date equipment, so they have all the latest techniques. If they have any questions, we are happy to sit down and educate, showing them classes, what needs to be done, sit down, and it's that camaraderie that we have. That's what drives us, and that's what allows us to show up happy and pleasant when the customers say, hey, they were really nice, they were good people.
There could be somebody listening to or watching this right now that may be fascinated in what you do, and not only would like to learn about your business, but are you hiring?
We're always hiring.
They're hiring.
We're looking for a plant healthcare tech. We would love to find the right arborist, possibly for sales, if somebody's interested, and always looking for the right climber. Somebody that's passionate about what they do. We're looking for people that want to grow with us and stay with us, and that's the big key as everybody keeps going.
Wow, look at that! It's just that's just another great sign how this company is growing rapidly. Green Valley Tree LLC. It's Josh Walmsley with us here. We just have about a minute and a half or so to go. I wanted to ask you, what do you know about Christmas trees? Why not? We're talking trees. You must know something about Christmas trees, right?
They're green. They're brown on the inside. You want to water them. They look great with lights on them.
See, he doesn't work on those kind of trees. But do you guys actually? Here's a legitimate question. Do you guys actually have a real Christmas tree in your house, or do you do Christmas? I'm assuming you celebrate Christmas.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah. So we last year we had a fake one. We brought the fake one to the house or to the office. But yeah, we do have a real one. So
they have the real one. Yep. We go fake, but that's a whole other discussion for another time. But I was going to say, a tree guy like yourself's got to have a real Christmas tree. Yeah.
We like the white pine just because it's easy on the feet. So you're not getting stabbed out of the blue spruce needles.
Great. Oh, my wife actually, she says she just had a dentist appointment. She probably wants to say hello. She knows Marianne as well. And she's actually the voice. I gotta say, my wife is the intro, and she is the intro that you hear on the radio and the outro. So And Marianne's going to stop here in just a second. But we got to close out the show. Josh Walmsley from Green Valley Tree is our third ever guest here on Hometown Threads. Not Hometown Heroes, even though he is considered a hero. He's a successful business owner. Hometown Threads here on 14 WILI 95.3 FM and Willimantic Today. My name is Keith C. Rice. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching, and thank you, Josh.
Hey, thanks for the opportunity. Appreciate it.
And thanks for the gifts.
Absolutely.
And that concludes another edition of Hometown Threads. Got a story for Keith? Reach out to him on Facebook by searching Keith C. Rice. Or email him at krice@hallradio.net. Don't forget to tune in next week on 14 WILI and 95.3 FM, as well as the Willimantic Today page on Facebook.